stems. And the reason I grow them like this is, first of all, you can plant a lot of tomatoes. You actually get more tomatoes per given land area by doing it like this, because you plant them closer, and a lot of the production is up rather than spread out. And another advantage of growing them like this is that the crops are a little earlier, the fruit are a little bigger, and they're up off the ground, away from slugs and other ground-dwelling creatures. But if you do grow tomatoes like this, you have to make sure that they're pruned, or they get too bushy and get too crowded, and then you get disease problems. So the things that you want to prune is you want to prune these suckers off. See, wherever there's a main stem, and incidentally, this can only be done with indeterminate varieties of tomato, and usually on the seed packet it tells whether it's determinate or indeterminate. Indeterminate means that the plant keeps making this ever elongating stem, and alongside that stem makes flowers, leaves, and then wherever a leaf meets the main stem, it sends out actually another shoot, which will make it bushy, and that's what you want to prevent. The other type of tomato, determinate tomatoes, you have a main stem, and the stem is capped by flower buds, and then all new growth is from side shoots. And if you pruned determinate tomatoes, you would just end up with a single stalk with just one flower head on top, and that would be the whole plant. So anyway, this is indeterminate. As I said, it has to be pruned, and the way you prune it is very simple. Is you look up and down the stem, and they do this very quickly, so you have to go over the plant frequently. I do this about once a week, and all I do is I just snap it off. And I look down the stem. There's a leaf. There's no shoot beginning there yet. Here's a flower, a truss of flowers. Here's another leaf coming off. Is the main stem of the leaf, and this actually is a new shoot trying to grow. So just pull that off, and sometimes it's nice to pull them off, because then there's less chance of spreading any contamination from any sort of pruning tool, but sometimes they don't pull right off. I like to do it early in the morning when things are really turgid, and then they snap more easily, usually like that. And then sometimes, you get real focused on these little details, and you got to stand back every once in a while, because every once in a while there'll be a big shoot that you might miss, and this large shoot actually is a sucker that grew up since last time I pruned. I just take that off. Okay, and here's another little one. Often at the base of the plant there'll be a lot of suckers coming up from right at ground level, so you have to keep an eye on those too. And then what I do is I make sure to throw all the prunings into my compost bucket. And then tomatoes, though they're called tomato vines, they're vining plants, but they don't climb by themselves. So you have to really help them up. So what I do is I take some conveniently pre-cut string, tie it around the post, and then make a loose knot around the plant. That's all set. So these are all different varieties of tomatoes. There's probably 10 different varieties of tomato in this row. What I like to do is just start at the top and just look right down the main stem. Here's one little thing beginning, another little sucker. So as I said, really about once a week, once the growing season really gets underway, is how often this needs to be done, because they grow very rampantly.